Hello and welcome to that Deacon on YouTube for September. Since I'm going to be featuring a bunch of other people and other events over the next few months, I thought this month I'd just do a little bit of catch-up and let you know what's going on with me in my ministry. Most times when I've talked with you, I've spoken of things that I'm about to do. And I'm going to share some of that with you today, but I'd like to start off by talking about a ministry of mine that, at least for the time being, has come to an end. I had spent much of the summer discerning whether I still should be involved with the National Coming Out Day service I began in 2004. And after some intense thought and prayer and soul searching, I had decided I had one more left in me, and I was going to follow a new format, more about sending people out into the world healed and whole. So after giving birth to that service in 2004, and then over the past 11 years, it's almost been like raising a child. And so sometimes in order for that child to grow, we need to pull away and see if the work we have done has taken root, and maybe other people might want to pick up on that service and do something else with it. So I have laid that element of my ministry aside, and I'll be curious to know, maybe not this year, but next year, if someone else will pick up the baton and do something with a very important date, National Coming Out Day, a way to reach those who have stepped away from church, who feel churches are too judgmental and too hateful and too picky and too much of an insider group. So what else is going on with me? Well, we started the new year, the new program year, and I've begun my weekly Bible study on Wednesdays. Every Tuesday, I'm still meeting my Thoughtful Walking group that is going like gangbusters. Second Wednesday of every month, we're still doing Laundry Love. And we've also, at St. George's, where I serve, added something new. We're partnering with an organization in Los Angeles entitled Imagine LA. And what this group does is they work with a family that was once homeless. They've gone through their program and now they're ready to begin a chapter in life where they get their own apartment. But many times these people just don't have the skills to maintain a life away from the system. So what we do with Imagine LA is basically a family adopts us and we adopt them. We forge, I believe, a 2-year commitment. And what we do is mentor that family. We have people that talk to them about their budget, education, work needs, anything that has to do with helping them flourish. It's encouraging to see many people in this parish become involved with the family to try to help them and to make sure that their lives now, this family's life, will be of worth, will be positive, and will be an element of growth, not only for the time that we spend with them, but for the rest of their lives. I think we're making an important difference, and it's really touching. So, way to go, team. Last Holy Week, we had a walk within La Cañada. It was called the Way of Our Cross. And we invited members of the local Roman Catholic Church to do the walk with us. And in that, I met their deacon, Deacon Augie Wan. And after we had that walk, I said, hey, let's do lunch sometime. let's try to get to know each other and talk about our ministries from two different faith communities and faith traditions. So last summer we met for lunch and had a great time talking. And while I was having lunch with him, he asked if I would like to attend and be a part of a service that he holds every year that pays tribute to Korean martyrs. We have a significant Korean population in La Cañada. So it's a service that they put on, especially since Augie is Korean. So he asked me if I would like to join his brother deacons. They don't have female deacons in that tradition. So he asked if I would join their brother deacons up at the altar and be a part of that service. Well, then as the conversation ensued, he found out that I can play the piano. And he said, we lost our pianist for this, so how would you like to join the band? So I've been to a few rehearsals, and not only will I be up at the altar during their Eucharist and other elements of the service, I will also be playing in the band for this celebration in remembrance of many Korean martyrs, some of them sainted by the Roman Catholic Church. Recently here at St. George's, we had one of those Holy Spirit moments. We were coming upon the 11th of September, and it just so happened it was a Sunday, and it also was the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. My rector wanted to do something to remember these people and that incident after 15 years. And she didn't know what she wanted to do, but she knew she wanted to do something. Well, it so happened that in preparation for her possible sermon, she watched a number of clips on the History Channel of people recounting that day, but 15 years later. They weren't clips that were new at that time. They were here in the here and now in 2016, thinking back to that day. And so what we ended up doing was an entire video Eucharist. We included people's stories. One woman who was trapped in the World Trade Center for an hour, who told this touching story about walking home covered in ash, and there was a woman with her little girl handing out paper towels so that people could wipe their face and wash their hands to give back their dignity. Our rector, Amy Pringle, put together an entire service interspersed with clips, and she wanted to have a slideshow of artifacts that were left, that are a part of the 9/11 Museum in New York City. So I put together a little slideshow. And then after that slideshow, we had a basket of rose petals, and we invited people to come up and decorate the altar with rose petals. And outside, our bell, our real bell, it's not digitized, was tolled 11 times in honor of 9/11. And it was really hauntingly beautiful and touching as people went in line and picked up a petal and placed it on the altar. And outside in the distance, the sound of the bell tolling. It was a truly moving experience. So thank you for joining me for this little chit-chat in the month of September. As you can see, things are picking up again from our summer lull, and I look forward presenting other events and interviews in the coming months. But for now, let's just say goodbye. God bless, be well, and see you next month.